Good evening and welcome to our comprehensive coverage of the intensifying crisis in the Middle East, where Israel's recent airstrikes on Iranian nuclear and military targets have pushed the region to the edge of conflict. U.S. President Donald Trump has delivered a stark warning to Tehran, pressing its leadership to secure a nuclear deal with the United States or face severe repercussions. The strikes have disrupted diplomatic efforts and heightened fears of a broader war. Here's the latest on this unfolding story. On Friday morning, President Trump addressed the Israeli operation via Truth Social, posting, "There has already been great death and destruction, but there is still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, come to an end." He urged Iran to make a deal before there is nothing left, and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire, emphasizing, "No more death, no more destruction, just do it before it is too late." The message was a clear call to action, laced with a dire threat. Israel's operation, codenamed Rising Lion, saw over 150 fighter jets strike critical Iranian sites, including the Natanz nuclear enrichment facility, missile production centers and military headquarters. Iranian state media reported the death of General Hossein Salami, head of the Revolutionary Guard, along with several nuclear scientists. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu justified the strikes as a necessary act of self-defense to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons, a claim Tehran denies. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei condemned the attack as a heinous act and promised a severe response, raising the specter of retaliation. The United States has distanced itself from direct involvement. Secretary of State Marco Rubio clarified that Israel acted unilaterally, describing the strikes as a defensive measure. However, Rubio issued a firm warning to Iran against targeting U.S. interests or personnel in retaliation. The U.S. has taken precautionary steps, with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth authorizing the voluntary evacuation of military dependents from parts of the Middle East, Northeast Africa, and South and Central Asia. The U.S. Embassy in Iraq has also warned of potential missile or drone attacks, urging Americans to remain vigilant. The Israeli strikes have severely undermined ongoing U.S. efforts to negotiate a nuclear agreement with Iran. The Trump administration had been engaged in talks, with a sixth round scheduled for Sunday in Oman. However, Iran announced its withdrawal from these discussions, citing the attack. Trump, who in mid-May expressed optimism about nearing a deal, voiced frustration on Friday. "I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it, but they just couldn't get it done." He referenced a 60-day ultimatum issued 2 months ago, stating, "Today is day 61. They should have done it." Trump also noted that some Iranian hardliners killed in the strikes had resisted negotiations, adding, "They are all dead now and it will only get worse." The strikes follow the International Atomic Energy Agency's recent report that Iran was enriching uranium to near weapons-grade levels, a development that alarmed Israel and the U.S. Trump's rhetoric echoes his first term, when he withdrew from the 2015 Iran nuclear deal and adopted a hardline stance. His latest posts suggest a mix of frustration and resolve, warning of the U.S.'s lethal military equipment and Israel's readiness to use it. Global reactions are polarized. Western leaders, including the UK, France, and Germany, have called for de-escalation and a return to diplomacy. Russia denounced Israel's actions as a violation of international law, while Iran launched over 100 drones toward Israel, all reportedly intercepted. On X, opinions range from support for Trump's tough stance to warnings of a regional disaster. Republican Senators Lindsey Graham and Tom Cotton praised Israel's resolve, while Democratic Senator Chris Murphy cautioned that the strikes risk derailing diplomacy. Trump is set to convene a National Security Council meeting at the White House to address the crisis. As tensions mount, the world watches to see if Iran will heed Trump's call for a deal or if the region will slide into further conflict. We'll keep you updated as this critical story develops.